14-year-old Brianne Sloan says she had her dreams dashed away when cuts to slots at racetracks were announced in 2012.
Very upsetting because we spend a lot of time to these horses, making sure they're healthy and well-bred and taken care of, and then you they just let you down.
If the cuts go through, it could affect over 60,000 jobs in the industry. Sloan knew she wanted to be an equine vet by grade 5 and bought her horse Lola last year.
I lose a lot at the racetrack. Most of my friends and family are at the racetrack, and you just don't get to see them as much anymore. They're downsizing their stable.
The owner of the stable Brianne works in says he doesn't know where she gets the energy, but it motivates him as well.
Brianne came along, and because of her enthusiasm, it renewed my enthusiasm for the sport. I mean, she's up here before school at 6:30 every morning. She's jogging horses before school. It's minus 20 degrees out Celsius.
Watt not only works with Brianne, he also is the director of the Ontario Harness Racing Association. He says they give back to the community in many ways.
We have a charitable event every single week where we're contributing to some form of charity. We've given to the public school systems, the Catholic school systems.
Sloan says it's hard to know what will be next if these cuts go through.
My future's not very encouraging, especially with the equine veterinarian, because there's not going to be very many horses left in Ontario to take care of in the racing industry. Just hard to know what's going to happen to her. Like, I will still race her, but it's just heartbreaking because I had her entered for some big races this summer that I know she may not enter.
Watt says the reality could be very dim.
It's going to cost them a lot more money in the long run because we live beneath the poverty line. We really do. Like, we live day to day, meal to meal, and as long as we can pay our bills, we're happy.
Brianne's passion for horses continues regardless of what temperature it is outside.
I love it this much that I am out here every morning and every night jogging horses, keeping them fit and healthy to get ready for their racing career.
These sounds can still be heard at Western Fair District, but this is what the horse racing industry fears the sound could be. $345 million is subsidized to the horse racing for the Slots at Racetracks program. That flow of funding will officially stop in March. So why make a move that leaves aspiring trainers like Brianne wondering about their future? Liberal MPP says the answer is simple. The government needs to find money.
We're running a deficit that is way bigger than anyone wants it to be. So throughout government, we're going through all of our program spending.
Matthew says there is a team assigned to the transition period.
And they've come forward with a plan, so now we're moving forward with eliminating the program, but in a way that it does the least harm to people who count on that industry for their living.
In addition to the clawback of funding, the Drummond report told the Liberals they could make more money off of casinos. The cuts forced Windsor Raceway to close their doors. Hiawatha Casino in Sarnia had its slots taken out, and Fort Erie's future is up in the air as well. Mega casinos are now being considered for Ontario, including one here in London at Western Fair District. Progressive Conservative MPP Monty McNaughton thinks the mega casinos should go on hold, and we should explore other options.
Let the private enterprise run the existing slot facilities. The government needs to play a very tough regulatory role.
Regardless of how the transition goes, Director of the Ontario Harness Racing Association says their world will be very different when the funding tap is shut off.
You're going to see broken down fences and paddocks that haven't been repaired, and barns in disarray, and you're just going to see the devastation that the end of the Slots at Racetrack program has done.
One of Ontario's most prominent breeders for the industry, Sealster Farms, is already seeing results of the impending cuts.
People are afraid to purchase new horses and afraid to invest more money in such an uncertain time. That being said, our yearling sales this year were down by almost 50%.
Over 13,000 horses are involved in the racing industry. and Stratman's family has bred them for over 50 years.
Where are you going? Come here.
She says the breeding process makes things quite difficult.
We have already created horses for a program that no longer exists. So I still have 50 horses to sell this fall and don't necessarily have a market for them.
The Slots at Racetrack program started in 1998 with 17 facilities opened in total. In what was once a vibrant slot and racing facility in Sarnia, now stands empty. This location injected over $1 million yearly into Sarnia's economy. Mayor of the border city says not only has the restaurant industry and tourism taken a hit, but city departments are feeling it too.
$1.2 million was going into our budget to support fire services, parks and recreation, and other services, and trying to keep taxes down.
The racetrack will try to rebound without the slots this year. What about incentives? Politics professor at Fanshawe College says he understands where the government is coming from.
In this environment, when revenues are down, because when the economy takes a bit of a dive, that's less revenue coming into the government through taxes and things like that. And so the government really has to reevaluate its spending priorities.
Western Fair District still has over 40 races a week, bringing harness racers like 28-year-old Jay Harris to the tracks. He fears if racing stops completely, the U.S. may not be an easy alternative.
Already some tracks are putting in stipulations down the states that Canadians can't go there unless you've lived there for 6 months and so on. So I mean, a lot of us in realistic numbers are going to have to train to do something else. We're going to have to give up our dreams.
Harris adds the outcome for some horses may be worse.
They were bred for this purpose. So without this purpose, what's the alternative? People go broke trying to feed horses that don't make money. So I mean, it's a sickening feeling to know that the outcome of the horses is worse than us.
Father of two, Trevor Henry was the most winningest Ontario racer in 2012, having won 5,000 of 25,000 starts since he started in 1989. He can't imagine doing anything else.
I'll go somewhere where there's racing, like that's all I know. I got an education, a grade 9 education. I don't know nothing else. Done it my whole life. It's all my family's done. I just have to move somewhere else. I'll sell my house and start up somewhere else.
For Fanshawe TV, I'm Fraser Snowden.